Battery's going flat again.
So we've got the engine out. Crank feels okay. As suspected, there's no oil in it, so I'm guessing somebody was actually putting this back together rather than, you know, stealing bits off it or whatever they're doing. They must have. I think they've been trying to build it up and sort of got so far and got bored or got stuck or whatever. We found a couple of things. So still, you know, there's that tight output shaft I don't like. But not only that, these things have they have a drain plug for the oil. There's obviously no oil in it, and they also have another plug that looks like a drain plug. I don't know if you can see that. That is actually the spring, the gear indent that makes it select gears. You know, when you go from first to second, it makes the, you know, like a gate between the two. And obviously, if you take that out, thinking it's the drain plug, there's a ball bearing on the end, and the ball bearing buggers off, and then you put it back in, and then the spring goes like that and gets all destroyed. So that's obviously why it was difficult to change gear. So that solved that problem. Now when you're doing this, you've got to be really careful because it's dead easy to damage the face. You put a screwdriver in the face, you always put it at a thick piece of alloy. There, just give it a little gentle move until she comes off. Yeah, there we go. More pink nastiness. Horrible, horrible stuff. The best tool tray in the world is the side casing. Right, let's go. I shall repair that nut. I shall file it up and make it square again and put it back on with a socket. Just a few more bits off while I'm here. As the rev counter drive that also drives the oil pump. Also drives the oil pump on the other side. And the idler gear, this is. So somebody's borrowed them. They won't last long. My friend Kevin borrowed my circlip pliers. Can't get on with them neither. These things have a habit of going where you don't want them to. Just lean it up like that. Put your finger on the top, put the screwdriver under and just up she comes. Right, old trick is, because it's steel into aluminium, if you hit it, it shocks it and sort of moves the threads, breaks the threads loose. It also remodels the head so it'll the screwdriver will fit properly. Sometimes if you swear at them as well, they come loose. Get all of the cover on so it doesn't go greying about, but use a cloth or something so you're not wreck your hands. Give it a little blast, she's off. There you go. I've warmed up a bit. Obviously don't get these gears too hot because they're case hardened. It won't do them any good if you get them glowing red. You end up weak, softening them more. Or even worse, making them too brittle or something. Well, just warm it up a little bit. Shouldn't hurt it. See if she's going to go now. Be careful that you don't crack the case when you're going like that, because you're pushing outwards as well. It's easy to crack the case out there. I've done it so many times. Not such a problem now because I have a TIG welder, but don't want to be welding stuff up I don't have to. Right, now, there's going to be gears everywhere in a minute, so try and take it apart like this. Normally shims stuck on the back of the gears there, when there isn't this time. They feel alright. Look at all this nasty horrible stuff though. Yeah, it's probably that's stopping the gears from going round. Look at all of that in there. See all of this down here, all wrapped around the selectors. Looks fairly new. It looks like it's been machined recently, as if someone's ground it down to fit. Surely that's not how it's supposed to be. You see the machining marks. Looks a bit Heath Robinson as well, whoever he is. They're all like that, look. Yeah, that one's the same. Yeah, it's definitely been modified. That's a bit odd. Put them together on one shaft as they were, and we know where they are, where they go. Leave that in there for now. What's going on with this one? There's a goo around it. Yeah, it's odd where they've been machined up like that. I wonder if they've used them out of another gearbox or something, or something else. Yeah, see that goo's in there as well. This is where obviously the oil goes down that hole there, down that pipe I was talking about from the auto lube. Comes into this bearing, and it throws it around in there, and that little metal disc there keeps the oil where it's supposed to be and keeps this bearing oiled. So that sits inside that bearing there. Keeps the oil inside. Conrod feels fine. No play in there at all. It's genuine Suzuki one. Pop them, pop that seal out, and them bearings, and then look at that. See, all this was worth it. The seal's broken. O-ring snapped. It's obviously been sat rusty, and it's snapped. There you go. There's a procedure for putting them back in. Obviously, I'll go through all that. You don't just bray them in. All that gunk in there. Yuck! That would have all gone through the bearing and just wrecked it. And this bearing comes out the other way. So one thing about these, you can change one bearing without taking it to bits. As I've done before, I think it was a ts250 I had or something it was, with a bearing on one side had gone. And I just took the clutch off and everything, took the cog off the outside and made a little tool and a puller to get inside the bearing and pull the bearing out and replaced it. There we go. Not quite out. There we go. Seal out that way. That bearing, obviously because it's been in the oil, in the gear oil, feels absolutely fine. In fact, it feels quite nice. Right. I'll get some new gearbox bearings as well, so I'm going to shot blast this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bolt it back together, bolt it all back together, bead blast it and paint it all up, powder coat it. I might do anyway, or I might just stick it together and spray it, I don't know. I'll work that out later. Right, can't do anything else now because we need some bits. So I'll leave it at that.